During the first half of the Splatoon 3 expansion pass trailer, my jaw was dropped. I didn't think we were gonna get the paid DLC this early, or revealed this early, and seeing our Inkling take a train to the Splatoon 1 hub, my jaw was dropped. I could not believe it. And I think it's obvious. I mean, Splatoon 1 being out, for so long, it's about time to kind of start referencing it, and it has nostalgia. But the further the trailer went, my jaw closed. And the more I started to say to myself, what's actually the point here? What is this actually going to be? Because from what I can see, it's just a reskinned hub world, and to be honest, I don't even really explore Splatoon 3's plaza. I don't care. For how big it is, there's not much to actually do in it that you can't just access from the menu. And I get it. You know, exploring the hub, it's cool, it's fun, it is beautiful, right? It's beautiful artistically, but Splatoon's a game about movement and moving fast, and it's fun. You can't even paint or swim around in the plaza. Now, I'm not saying we should be able to, but it's just so sluggish and slow, and that's really the entire reason we use the menus. You know, like, if maybe there was a scooter or a skateboard, I would feel different about that, but that's not really the point. A lot of people have been asking, is it enough? And I want to talk about that today, because is it enough to just get a reskin hub world? Let's talk about it. So, is Wave 1 of the Splatoon 3 expansion pack enough from what we know already? Absolutely not. No. Honestly, not at all. And here's why. It is advertised as its own DLC wave on not the same par, obviously, as, you know, Side Order, the story DLC, but it's next to it, right? It's being advertised next to it. Of course it's not enough. That's not a debate. This Wave 1 feels less like additional content and more like a cheap nostalgia grab, even if it's just supposed to be a bonus. It's still being advertised as its own wave of DLC. It's not good in the presentation sense. Like, if you tell everybody that, hey, we have a wave of DLC coming out, and they're like, oh, there's probably gonna be a lot of content in this. No, it's literally just a reskin of the plaza. It looks incredibly lazy. That's why I think criticism for it has been very fair, in my opinion. I hope Nintendo adds more, and I honestly think they need to. Not for it to be worth the money, because again, we do get Side Order with it. It's not that it's a waste of money, it's more that presentation-wise, it just doesn't look good. It just looks lazy. I think what's interesting is that if this kind of update was in, you know, Animal Crossing, which these developers also, you know, work on, say, like, it's visiting New Leaf or City Folks areas, right? So a past game. As an Animal Crossing player, I would eat that up. That's great. That's awesome. And, you know, I mean, this is such an Animal Crossing type of update where it's all about the aesthetics. And I understand that Splatoon has a very large part of the fan base that is into the aesthetics, and I understand that. This Splatoon succeeds so much with satisfying, functional gameplay, with, you know, variety of weapons. There's goals, especially in Splatoon 3, rewards. It's so easy to not care about any of this stuff in Wave 1. Besides getting an extra shop rotation and, you know, 5 minutes of going, oh, this is so cool, I remember this plaza from the first game. Like, what else is there going to be? I have some ideas, alright, and they are in two categories. Category 1 is going to be stuff that's more cosmetic. Stuff that I think is likely that they will actually do, since the whole flavor of this Wave 1 is cosmetic in the first place, all about the aesthetic. My second category are some new functional features, like actual, stuff that brings, at least a little bit new gameplay, just a little bit new gameplay. So here are some things that this Wave 1 should have, okay? I don't think the problem is that this is just a cosmetic DLC. But the hub is not really an important area of this game. Again, you can just skip most of the stuff because of the menus. I already said it's not fun to move around the plaza. But there's plenty of cosmetics, especially in Splatoon 3, that they could add that are actually important. Retro weapon skins, the weapon models that we had in Splatoon 1. People would love that. I'm more personally on the fence because I'm more into kind of consistent branding, but that's just a me thing. I mean, who wouldn't want to play with that lime green Tenatech splatter shot with that pink sticker on it, right? Like, it was just so cool, and it's something that people can actually play with. Music is kind of a must, and there's already the Splat Attack song and the Splatfest song that they put back into the game. We assume, based on the trailer, that we assume they're going to put that in. But what if this wave gave you retro battle music from Splatoon 1? Perhaps if you queue into a game from the Splatoon 1 plaza or the lobby, you will get the playlist of the Splatoon 1 songs, right? So you can kind of choose your music in that sense. Getting access to the victory animations from Splatoon 1 is it has to happen, alright? I believe they've actually been data mined, not actually sure, but they're also sort of necessary with the lack of the weapon-involved victory emotes, like victory emotes where the Inkling or Octoling is actually holding the weapon. All of the ones from Splatoon 1 obviously had that. We only have one of those in this game, so I think those are just easy, right? And it's, actual substantial content. There's also little stuff they could do, like stickers, banners, decorations with Splatoon 1 aesthetics or stuff. Like having little decorations of the animal icons that are on top of the buildings. That would be cool. But obvious little stuff like that. That's an easy thing. But let's give this Wave 1 some meat and potatoes. And they probably won't do any of these because with what the price looks like, they're definitely not doing any of this. But here's what they should have done. Bring the mini games back from the arcade machine, or from when you would wait in the Splatoon 1 lobbies and you could play on the gamepad. So Squid Jump, Squid Racer, Squid Ball, Squid Beats. Bring those back. People love those. I don't think y'all understand how much people love those. Other functional stuff, the test range from Splatoon 1 could be used. I had the idea of they could turn it into kind of like what the Splatoon 3 lobby is. Turn the old test range from the Splatoon 1 game, turn it into a little lobby, an outdoor lobby. You can open it up, you can tear down a wall, give it more space, put a terminal so you can check stuff, a grab and go so you can get tickets, whatever else is needed for it to function. You would have a different layout of dummies, and it would be a very cool throwback since a lot of, competitive players spend a lot of time in the Splatoon 1 test range. So, I just think that would be really cool. Single player levels with the old weapons and specials would be really cool, and you don't have to do a whole campaign. But imagine some kind of horde level where you have to defeat so many enemies, but you got a pre-patched Splatoon 1 Inkzooka, right? That fires so quickly. An obstacle course with the Kraken, right? That iconic special. Maybe some kind of puzzle with Killer Whale. I thought about some kind of multiplayer mode, but I feel like that would conflict with the main game too much, unless, what if they bring back Battle Dojo? And we see that the Battle Dojo building has been replaced by the Shoal. Get it? This is definitely not going to happen. But this would be sick. Okay, imagine. Now, obviously, this game should have local multiplayer. At least having Battle Dojo here in DLC, it's something. It is what it is. But let's talk about what if this was an online mode. And maybe it's an additional mode to the regular battle rotations. Don't ask me how that would work. I actually don't even know how that would work. But like some kind of balloon-focused game. And again, it's not like a ranked mode, right? So it's not like something competitive. It's more something casual. But like, I would love to see what they could do with it. And again, it's a throwback. It's a calling, and a lot of people didn't even play Battle Dojo much. I'd never really played it, but I think it would be really cool. Especially since we don't have to attach a whisk trap onto the back of our Wii U Pro controllers, because that was literally a thing. Listen, I do not hate the idea of this Wave 1, and again, I know the actual, you know, the budget went into side order, the budget went into the story mode, but again, this looks like a lazy cash grab, and I wish it didn't look like a lazy cash grab. I just don't think this makes the developers look good, especially to their own community. I really like the idea of a throwback, especially if this comes out near Splatoon 1's birthday, which is technically in the season of spring. But man, it needs to have more content. It would be kind of sad if we just got the hub and nothing else. I personally don't feel like I would really interact with this DLC really at all if that's the only thing. I do have confidence though that Nintendo will add more to this Wave 1, including some, but not all, of the ideas I mentioned. I think the cosmetic ones have a good chance, okay? I think those have a good chance of being added. A lot of my functional ideas, I think they would be very good to give this Wave 1 more of a purpose. Wave 2 is obviously single-player focused, but Wave 1 can be... It's fine, again, if it's cosmetic focused, but also put a little bit of a side gameplay in there, you know? I'm more looking forward to what Nintendo will add to this Wave 1 more than I am looking forward to it. And again, my initial reaction when I saw this was that my jaw was dropped. But I'm hoping that when this comes out, my jaw will drop once again out of nostalgia. And obviously, doesn't need to be said, Side Order looks awesome. I'm excited for that. Might make another video on that, but thank you guys so much for watching. Follow me on Twitter @DreamyZach, and I will see you guys next time.